Hello, how's it going out there? James here. I had something on my mind and it's come across my heart, and I want to address this. And I want to address this to the people who say that they're Hebrews and in the Hebraic faith. And this don't apply to all Hebrews, but there's some that come to social media and they want to criticize what some people who are in Christianity do, who are Christians. They want to criticize the fact that what day that they worship. They want to criticize certain holidays that they do. They want to criticize some of the scandals that's going on in the church. They want to criticize certain things that they do, and I see such a backlash. And I see them quoting scriptures and everything. But one of the things that I learned about some of these people who are in the Hebraic faith, whether they're standing on the corner or whether they're some of them behind the video, such as YouTube or social media. One of that they fail to realize that the same book that they was reading, that the Most High had mercy. They had mercy on the Gentiles. Was there some Gentiles that were following other paths in faith? Yes, it was. Are there some churches that do things that make God upset? Yes, there is. But there are also some things that maybe people that's into Judaism that make God not to please. There's some people in Islam that make God the Most High not to please, particularly. But what I know is that with some of the people, and I know is a pattern, is the same spirit that the Sadducees had, the Pharisees had, and when one of the men who one of the greatest men of the Bible, who was Paul, before his name was changed, he was Saul, and he would go up around the law, go around the different villages and throughout his time, and he was persecuting the Christians because they wouldn't come going by the law. And what you fail to realize that in the one story, which everybody goes to the book and they read the scriptures, but it was one particular scripture where when Saul was on his way before he was named Paul, was on his journey, he was knocked off his horse and he was blinded, and then he heard a voice from heaven, and he heard the voice because he said, and the voice went, Saul, Saul, why have thou persecuted me? And he couldn't see because he was blinded by a light. And you know about Barnabas, Paul's assistant, had, once he had that encounter with the Most High led his friend and led him to get his eyes washed out, because he was doing something that he was persecuting people because they wouldn't follow these strict guidelines. They wouldn't they was blaspheming the day of worship. They were blaspheming. They were going on this tangent, and I mean, literally, they would suffer being persecuted, thrown in jail, beaten, and that was one of his assignment. And then when you read the story about the Sadducees and the Pharisees, and they had garment, they had a uniform, they had their own garment, and they wore the law like they have the wearing the law on their wrist, both of their wrists. And the persecutor came at the Most High Son, Yeshua, saying that why are you working on a Saturday? And you know the story. Every time they felt that Yeshua was doing something, it was in violation of being part of the Hebraic faith, in which that's what the Father put him in alignment through the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they didn't recognize him, of course, because they was too busy focusing on the law. And when he told them, I am the law, I'm the word that's wrapped up to be. You looked at him funny, you the word wrapped up to be. And because they was looking for this one, not realizing he was already born, he was already at this age of his 30 where his ministry, and that's when he encountered all these problems with these religious zealots. And some of these Hebrews, just like some Christians, just like some of these people in Islam, sometimes your Orthodox Jews and other people, you sound like a religious zealot. And you forget, and if you say that you are from the Most High, one thing people are going to notice is, and many people from the beginning, when they read his story about Paul, and when they read the beginnings of Yeshua, Jesus, Yeshua, who was the Christians called Jesus, they read his story and they see what he went through. First of all, it was assassinated on his life right before he came to the planet. And then when he got of a certain age, all these people was come backlashing him because he wasn't doing things by the law. He wasn't wearing certain clothing. And I probably was talking about his beard, his fringes, and all these different things. They focus on all those different things, but the main thing they missed out. They didn't get to know the Father for themselves. They didn't sit back and allow the Father Spirit to say, be quiet. Let me get a hold of. Let me deal with this person. Let me tell you some people who are like this, who's judging people because they're Christian or whatever for some reason. It's not what is they a part of, and whether they could be black or whether they could be white. If they're getting on their knees and praying, and they're fasting and they're praying, whether they're a Gentile or whether they would consider a Jew, if they're getting results, who are you to sit there and tell somebody whatever it is when you don't know what their prayer life is like? Because only the Most High know all of our prayer life and how much time we spend with them. And it might be some Gentiles that spend more time in prayer than you are with the law. And see, it's easy for people to sit up there and criticize about what the Christians are doing, what these people are doing, because they in the idols of religion. But the Most High know this. Let me give you an example. My friend who believes in Jesus, him and I went to Florida. This is a true story. And we met a guy that was our driver. The guy was of the Hindu faith. Because my friend asked him, he felt that in his heart and said that what his spiritual belief was. And finally asked the man what his spiritual belief was, and that's when he mentioned he was a Hindu faith. And we said, okay, I respect that. Hey, it's good to know. And my friend was important telling about Yeshua, which is Jesus. So he felt led to say that, but it was a good conversation. It was no conflict about your religion is wrong, your pathway is wrong. I was in the moment. I was just so happy for one, just to get away from the cold weather and just enjoy myself. But in the meantime, we're down there, and the man was very nice. He had a very good heart, and very open, very talkative person. We had a good conversation, talk about Florida. But here's the kicker. And later on that night, after he dropped us off over down at his aunt's in Florida, and after we stayed up for a while, and we went to bed. I laid in my room. But he was in his guest room. I was in my guest room, and this is what happened. I want you to listen very carefully. The Most High Spirit woke me up, told me to pray for this man. He put it on my mind to pray for this man. I didn't question, well, Most High, he's an idol religion. Well, Most High, he's not a part. It didn't come across my mind like that, and I didn't even know what to pray. But he gave, in the spirit of the Ruach, gave me the scriptures what to pray for this man. I mean, I couldn't even go to sleep. Even if I wanted to go to sleep, I couldn't go to sleep because I had to say this prayer. I want to let you, some of you Hebrew brothers and sisters who got this mindset, know this. If you have a relationship with the Most High, He will have you do stuff like that, because it's something with that individual. Even though he's in a Hindu faith, whatever, He wants that person for a reason. Could be over into one of those heathen or idols religion. It's because He knows what their spiritual system is all about. See, this, and then if we are, now that you find you are the people of the Bible, now that you are the children of the Most High, guess what He wants you to do? He wants you to go out there and minister to the world, and then you have to stay in tune with Him to give, whether it's a Jew or whether it's a Hebrew, or is a Jew or a heathen or a Gentile, to give the scriptures. And if they turn you down, it doesn't matter, because it's something He wants to do with the individual. It's not. It's something it goes deeper than what you even imagine. And we don't like to picture. We don't like to picture that because we're so busy pointing out someone else's insecurities and inferiorities. And now that, and it's good that, and I'm happy that black people come into the truth. But don't turn into those other people once you get the truth and you want to start persecuting. Listen here. Is the worship on Sunday wrong? Yeah. But I don't think, personally, I think the Most High is more concerned with getting this, telling them the truth, getting them into the scriptures, leading them to the Word, fasting, praying for them, and give them over to Him, and He'll work all that out. Not you. This is the problem. And you have some people, some Hebrews, just like any of these other people in these other religions, want to keep it all to themselves and project whatever it is they want on other people. But they never get to know the Most High. And then you have some people out there saying, when the Most High come back, He gonna put you in the bondage. And then He gonna say that he didn't know you Christians. Really? Because the Word said that, because they did this on this specific day, and they were paying their tithe, and we ain't supposed to tithe, and we ain't supposed to do this, and He knew that there was going to be some imperfection in every religion. He knows some people was going to come short. But the thing about it is, wouldn't it be wise as a Hebraic brother or sister to be in the Most High's face, to see what He wants, not just read His Word, but to see to get to know the one who come to this earth, so we can, when He opened up and guess it's like He gave you the revelation and gave you back your heritage and it can you back to your system. He want other people to honor the way. They know that you're the people. But not only that you're the people, He will send to go rescue the souls. Because now He's going to position you in the place to be the people that you are. So people would appeal to you, and then they would see not only because you are the people, you would see the ambassadorship of Yahweh or Yeshua, or whatever, or they're known as Jesus, because this is what he wants. If you notice in all the scriptures, there were some people that turned him away, including his own. But there were some people that were from other nationalities in some false religions. They knew something was about him. And even though I heard about the story about this, the one Phoenician woman, the one was she's I don't know if she's Phoenician or not Phoenician. The one woman that she asked the Messiah, can he come and heal her child? And I always hear this story about, but he called her a dog and everything, and blah 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 blah. Yes, he did. He did those things. But you forget to finish. The child got healed. The Messiah had mercy. Even though, yes, this woman did worship idols, but she came to realize. But when she thought about the love of her child, she asked him in the midst of her pain, "I'll do anything. I would pick up if you could just come and see and raise my child from her illness and sickness." And this is what some of you Hebrew-bred people who Hebrews call yourself Hebrews forget about that. You forget about the Roman soldier that had his servant, and he come visit Yeshua on the trail, and he said, and at the time, the Roman soldier, we all know what they were pretty much in pagan religions too, but he got word how powerful, and he heard the rumor about the Messiah of the time was in the land, and he come with him with his servant, and he come with him with the assistant. He said, "Can you come visit my home?" And this was a prominent Roman soldier. And so, Yeshua was on his way. You know the story. But he said, then, if you can't come, can you send a word? He believed the word that Yeshua, and Yeshua, known as Yahweh, that's what you want to call him, through the Most High, was impressed because of his faith. So he was in the word said his servant was raised up because of faith. And that Roman soldier was not half of a Hebrew. He was of a different religion. And we can point out a couple other people in the Bible that Yeshua that they were, and he went from town to town to town to town. Yes, he would go to his own, but any other people, he would give them the word, the gospel. Whoever would hear him, whatever nationality. Because once they hear the testimony, that it would intrigue them to pick up where their faith is at, because that's what it was. Because it was power in the word. It's not power you being the people, it's power in the word. And you have to give the knowledge to the Most High. And it gives you the accurate way to come to ask the word. Can't go around the word. You have to come through the word. The word is his son. In him, in his son. So you have to come through a system. And I see these certain individuals. I'm not gonna call out they're well known on YouTube, and they know some word, and they know a word, but they doing it, but they too busy have the base with the Christians. They want to have the base, and you forgetting the whole point that. Do you think Yeshua would want us to be down here debating? Who's wrong and who's right in the word? You're Christians, you're being wrong. You Hebrews, you're being wrong. Meanwhile, you have hundreds and thousands of souls out there. Some people are going to die, and they're going to hit hell. and they're going to suffer to death. But if you say that you're a prophet, and you say that you're an evangelist, a teacher from the Most High, then you have to get on accord with the Most High. Not just with His Word. You have to get on accord with His Spirit. That's the important thing. This is what I've been wanting to say for a long. And I sat back and I watched, because I watched the different videos on YouTube. And I said, they missing something. They missing the whole point. It's good that you come into your heritage. That's fine. And it's good that you want to pick up the things that honor the Father of the Most High. That's fine. But what you're doing is you're not allowing Him and stay in communication with Him to develop you. You're just stuck in the law. You're just stuck in the Word. But you never stay around and pray so the Word can come off the pages. You know the Word. I hear you online quoting scriptures. But the Word, but the Most High desire this Word to manifest, because people want to see it manifest. But He want to see His Spirit in you to manifest. That's what most Hebraic people online. Some of them don't have that. There's a certain amount of them do, but they forget. You know all about this. You know from Genesis to Revelation. You know it. But it's good that you know. And you can study. Some of you are scholars and everything about it. And some of you who are in them camps and everything. You know the Word. But at some point, when does the Word manifest? What is it manifested in your life? Where is the fruit of it, this Word? Where is the fruit? Because that's what the people are looking for. Everybody's looking for something. Do you know why some people get off these false religions? They want to get into Wicca. They want to get into pagan worship, Druidism, and stuff like that. Do you know why they get? They get so fascinated with magic. Do you know why? Because they're looking for the manifestation. But they're going about to the wrong source. And whatever source will answer them. Oh yeah. Warlocks, witches, and pagan spiritualism, whatever. Oh yeah. My Hebrew brothers and sisters, they work. There's some of them online. They can probably give you the testimony. And they in fact even tell you how they can manifest something from the supernatural. Because people are fascinated with the supernatural. People would want to throw and cast spells for you, for a prophet. Look at Simon. Because he wanted the power of what Peter had. And I believe that was Peter. He wanted his shadow. Because of the anointing that he had. The healing that was people getting cast, being set free. Limbs are going straight. New eyes, people are blind and their eyeballs. They pray and they got their eyes. And you know when the blind person, they have their eyes a different coloration. Then they close their eyes and their eyes go back to normal. The people who've been deaf for 30, 40, 50 years or half their lifetime, all of a sudden, snap! They hear the testimony, my friend. The fruit. Are you a Hebrew that able to have that kind of connection to the Father? Because there's people out there that do, and they might be Christians. Those of you who are persecuting the Christians, some Christians, saying they're not worshiping on Sunday. They're not doing this, they're not doing that. they're not doing this by the word, but they may even be at the beginning of the word, but they may be strong in their faith when they lay before the Father and pray, and they get access, to heaven in the prayer. What are you doing as a Hebraic brother and sister? Are you accessing the Father? Are you? What is He telling you? Do you know what spirit is speaking to you? Do you know if it is a delusional spirit or if it's the real deal? Because sometimes Satan can make him sound like he's God. And you have to be discerning to know if it's him or if it's Satan. You got to know what spirit is speaking that come into your conscience, if it's him or if it's Satan. Because it gets down to the nitty-gritty. And that's why it's good to lay before the Father's face. It's good to lay before the Son, to seek in His face. If those of you come into the Hebraic faith, seek His face. It's good to know the word, but seek His face is the next thing, so He can. Because once you seek His face, the word that come out will come clearly off the pages. It takes a spirit to bring it out. Because otherwise, if